Welcome to 10 Talk, where the conversations on 10, the personalities on 100. Today, you may see a bonnet. You may. But I see the helmet of salvation. Because the Lord said, put on the whole armor of God. You know what? So today we gonna have a whole armor. Anybody got they cardigans or they breastplates of salvation? Because you may see a cardigan. I see the breastplate of righteousness. Jesus, hallelujah! Praise him, praise him.
Sharif, you are mental.
So you couldn't tell by the title of the video or by these antics, we're going to be talking about the latest in YouTube couple goals gone wrong.
You gonna say cardigan?
Oh, we got a breastplate of righteousness in the building. No weapon for.
I just thought I'd give you one red one for the one time. Don't mind if I change it a couple times, because I got a few on deck.
Yes, hallelujah.
Covers all my transgressions and my sins.
The way it wasn't covered in boobs, though.
The devil thought he had me, and he did. He did. We're going to be talking about the latest and greatest, and marriage counseling gone wrong, and YouTube couple goals gone down to hell like Lil Nas X in the stripper pole and that new video. We're not going to talk about that today. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Derrick Jaxn and him and his McRib situation. You know, they keep saying the McRib is back. They come back every 3 to 5 business months.
Well, I mean, at least that might work since the ice cream machine don't work.
Well.
So I think let's just start generally. Does anybody have any opening statements regarding this situation?
You're not going to tell the viewers what the situation is about.
Child, if y'all ain't got up to speed by now, y'all need to go scroll on your little phony phone. If you've been living under a rock, and not Dwayne the Rock, but if you've been living under a rock, or maybe you've been, drinking your water, paying your bills, minding your business.
Okay, because people do that too.
If you've been
like
single,
hold up. Like apparently, one of his mistresses, Derrick Jaxn, one of his mistresses apparently had no idea he was this relationship coach because she's a surgeon. And she be in the hospital all day, so she don't be on social media. I don't believe that, but
she ain't got no scrolling time under her belt. She ain't got no finger flicking the wrist.
She's booked and busy in the hospital, and the rest of her time is spent booked and busy spreading her legs for Derrick.
How did you meet him if you're not on your phone scroll? You know what? I'm not gonna ask.
They met in the mall. They met in the mall.
But we all got the Googles, and as soon as you meet somebody, it is 2021. When you meet somebody, as soon as they tell you their name, you looking on their Instagram, they Facebook, they LinkedIn, no.
Oh, I completely agree.
But I guess if you do not know what has been happening, YouTube relationship expert Derrick Jaxn, one of the 4 horsemen of the Black Men Don't Cheat apocalypse, has been caught, has admitted to, some infidelity with his wife. And a lot of people have a lot of things to say about it. Some people are like, you know what? That's your fault. I knew from when I saw this video, it was all smoke and mirrors. Because, everybody likes to be, every time something like this happens, there's always that subset of people like, well, I been knew. Y'all just get hip to the T. I been peeped what was going on. Girl, shut up. There are some people who are trying to are trying to put all the blame on the woman in the situation, saying, well, maybe you don't cook. Maybe it's because of the way you dress, this or that, whatnot. Or all these different things. So does anybody have any opening statements before we really get down into what I think this symbolizes?
This is why. Go ahead.
My opening statement is that regardless of if you look like Beyonce, Jay-Z, or Blue Ivy, if a man wants to cheat on you, they are going to cheat on you.
Right. You know what? There's been a lot of cheating in the news recently. Sweetie and Quavo, they broke up too. You know, there's been a lot of cheating going on. But that's neither here nor there. Sabrina, what did you have to say? You look like you were about to say something.
Oh, I was just going to say that, this is why you don't cap for Black men, sorry to say. That's why you mind your business. You don't have commentary on people's relationships, because he was out here telling everybody else how to live their life and was a whole hypocrite. My problem is, if you go cheat, don't sell a story. Like, wasn't he making fitness videos? Why are you cheating and like making relationship videos and like selling these lies to these Black women, which is probably his demographic? Because I don't know this man, because I don't listen to Black men tell me about relationships. But
at all.
That's my thought.
Now, Samuel's not here.
Women is definitely his demographic. And from the tea that I heard from some of the bloggers, he was using him being this perfect, great man as a way to lure women from his direct messages into his private quarters.
Now, Samuel's not here, but he and I talked about this situation very briefly, so I want to bring up something that Sam said. He pointed out that it was very interesting to him that he released this information pretty much unprovoked. And then, of course, at the end of the video, he has a link to this book. He has a link to a book he wants everybody to purchase. So, now, there's one of two ways you can take that. Either A, his wife is just really, really, like, she just so caught up in the Jesus juice that she don't know how to separate the real from the fake. Or, controversial opinion, which I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying I believe it, but I'm just giving you something to think about. Could this all be a publicity stunt that the wife is in just to push this book? It would be a dumb publicity stunt in my opinion. But hey, people do dumber things for clout.
From the outside looking in, I feel like it could actually be that way because, anytime social media gets something and they make it go viral or it's trending or whatever, good, bad, wrong, ugly, or whatever, are always going to be men and females, that men and women that will support him regardless. And so the strategic timing of him dropping his book was definitely for a benefit for him in his pocketbook and what he felt like was going to be the best thing for him. Because at the end of the day, they want to laugh and ooh and ah, but does he say some good stuff? I don't know him from a can of paint, but that don't mean other people aren't still waiting to eat up everything that he has to say.
I think it wasn't for publicity, but they are capitalizing off the moment. Because I feel like if it's going to come out that you cheating and they trying to pivot to like making it work after cheating, but I feel like she's a whole fool. He's going to continue to cheat. He's going to continue to sell this narrative. And you wouldn't catch me dead holding nobody's hand. Why they talk about how they cheated on me? No.
Now, I did see a couple of responses from the internet. The internet was going crazy. When this situation happened, there were so many parodies of the situation. One I saw was just had me in stitches. It's like, okay, and it was like from the other perspective. So it's like if it was the woman, not the man, who had cheated.
Oh, with the big jaw?
Yeah, it was like, you know what? It's like I did it anywhere. Cars, buses, trains. Shoot, I even had a couple ran on me. You see, I'm a runner, I'm a track star. When I heard that, I fell out. Like, not I'm a track star, Jesus.
Yeah. But you know what's funny about that is how misogynistic it all is, because if that was a man, if that was the other way around, I don't think there's a man who'd be like sitting there holding her hand, talking about how she was busting it open for somebody else, and Jesus wept and Lord is his shepherd.
Not one. Not one. Because I feel like the thing is with men, like they're portrayed to never take a woman back after they cheat, but I don't think that's true. I think
my biggest thing is I think it's a perfect example of like the toxicity of being in the church environment where women feel like they got to put up with all these things that men do and they trying to hold on to the covenant of Christ and all this garbage. Meanwhile, she's sitting there looking a hot, miserable mess. While he explains and he making her look like a joke on the internet and all this other stuff, and she just sitting there taking it and looks absolutely miserable. She don't look like she's like come to terms with it. They had a conversation, whatever. She just looks miserable, and he looks like it's a joke to him. And if you think his DMs not still open, you a whole fool.
And to add on to what you just said about how the church is influencing this, I think one thing that is important to think about is the church has this culture of being the long-suffering type. Especially, this is geared, I feel like, more toward women than it is toward other sexes. But I do think the church has this whole notion of being like, oh, you got to be long-suffering. You got to tolerate this, that. You have this long checklist of things you got to like put up with to find you a good man or whatever. And I think the church does not do enough to really show people like how to get out. Like the church is gonna like be the person who like commits you to stay in this union, stay within this environment, instead of just dipping out when you know it's not good for you. All on the sake of like having a title or being married or whatnot. I feel like being married ain't worth the stress.
Especially not with all the work women do. Women are conditioned to want to be married, but women be doing the most work. I'm like, why is it that we always the ones who feel like we got to get married when we are the whole prize? Like, men don't have that pressure to be married. And then if you like 45 and unmarried, they looking at you like, well, hopefully one day she go find somebody. Maybe she happy chilling. And I feel like if more women realize that you can have a life outside of being miserable in a marriage, it would be a lot better.
Right, definitely. I also want to get on the comment of like, he made a whole reaction video reacting to his apology video. Now, ain't that crazy?
So you're saying that he says this big, long, drawn out apology while he got his wife sitting next to him like she should have a Michael Jordan meme on her face. And then he gonna twirl up and laugh and joke with the commenters that are throwing shade on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So that means he further doesn't respect the fact that he has somebody that sacrificed her humility to sit there through his BS and basically was like making light of the situation and again monopolizing on the fact that he about to have his book and keep it pushing with their lives because he about to still make his coin because I bet you she ain't on
it. Special guest appearance.
But and the other thing is I feel like he's not cognizant of the fact that she is actually playing a part in saving his little raggedy reputation. Because if your whole like selling point is being this man that's married and has a wife and all this other stuff, her sticking by you and standing with you is the reason why you can like plug this little book at the end. But then you go sit there and make a video kikiing and laughing about it. I don't understand why we just not getting weapons and stabbing people. Like at that point, just stab him. Just stab him and play a game of hide the body.
Because it's illegal. Also, what's this book about that he's selling?
Let me quickly see if I can find a link to the book specifically. But I want to read this comment that I saw from another commentator I watch occasionally now and then called Real Talk with Yaney. She posted this screen cap of like this comment reacting to the situation where it says, although Derrick Jaxn is a hypocrite and a trash husband, he at least taught you how to spot and avoid men like him. So ladies, if you ended things with a dusty, a F-boy, or a narcissist, you still did the right thing. Don't go rethinking your decision just because Derrick turned out not to be the man you thought he was. And I do think that's a positive thing you can take out of the situation. Even if he was lying, even if he was putting on this front, there still is good you could get from the situation.
See trash to know trash thing. You don't have to smell trash to know trash thing. I feel like women need to get some self-esteem. Stop letting these men do all this, because that's the other thing. He got probably like 3 or 4 women to line up to take her place to sit on that couch and hold his hand.
Right.
So I need everybody to gather some self-esteem and stop going after trash men and giving them a reprieve from their raggediness and making them look better.
Okay, so on his website, DerrickJaxn.com, which he described himself as a self-love ambassador and entrepreneur, he has a book that just came out called Heal Together Without Hurting Each Other. Then there's A Cheating Man's Heart Part 3. Wait.
So it sounds like all of his books were already geared to cheating men.
What's funny is like A Cheating Man's Heart, it's a fiction novel.
Yeah, okay. He was just probably reincanting a lot of his late night rendezvous in book form.
One thing I've been thinking about is, and I don't know how, to what extent it plays in this situation, but it goes back to the whole idea about people being pushed to get married. And I think that for some people, it goes back to the way where everybody tries to fit into this one-size-fits-all mold of how life should work for them and whatnot. And that's not always realistic. I wonder if, and I'm not blaming anybody in the situation except for Derrick, of course, but I do wonder if non-monogamy would have been the move for him. If he should have just found people, like if he should have been like, maybe I'm not looking for a monogamous relationship, and just found other people who also are not looking for a monogamous connection. Then again, of course, non-monogamy is not a solution to cheating. A lot of people try to use it.
So you want him to have sister wives?
Well, I'm saying he don't need to be married. I'm saying he need to find people who just like, listen, I'm on the polyamory, non-ethical, non-monogamy tip, because I'm not trying to be married. That's not where I'm at. Clearly, his wife wanted to be married. I feel like he didn't.
But I also feel like a lot of people don't do that because it's okay for them, but not the other person.
That is also true. That's a good point.
So it's hard to enter into that kind of situation when you want to be the only one, sliding through.
Doing the loving. I just think it's a punk move, to be honest. To know that your intentions are never pure towards someone else, and that you know that you're about to be shady, and you got this woman sitting here in either disbelief or in la la land, because either one, her self-esteem, like my sister said, is like non-existent, or you that doggone good to where you hiding it into where she doesn't feel or know, otherwise what's going on. And then when it blows up in her face, it makes it even worse, because now she really looked like the idiot and the dummy, because hello, like, you've been sitting here cheating on me and wrote all these books really about your cheating experiences, and I've been sitting up here talking about, can I get my signed autograph copy? And like, what we doing? I'm over here looking like I got eggs splattered all over my face for no reason. And then I'm still sitting here, and then you're going to decide that you're going to up and leave me, and then I'm going to have nothing. Oh, that's when your tires is going to be flat and your butthole going to break.
Right.
But that's why instead of sitting on there holding his hand, she should have been using them fingers to click on that bank account information. Use what God gave you to click on his bank account information and start sliding you some money on out that account while you sitting there holding his hand. You could have been using your hands for good, keep hope alive. But anyway, my other point, and it's probably cheaper to keep her because she probably would get most of his money. That's the other reason maybe he don't want to get a divorce. So I have a question. Is cheating a deal breaker for any of you peoples?
Few different situations, and all situations are different. They have been deal breakers for me in the past because of the level of where I was at, and it just didn't make sense anymore. I would have to see. I think it's a by person by case basis, like in terms of the relationship, because I could say it's a deal breaker today, but considering like what I would lose or we would lose, I may be willing to reconsider, like based on what the cause was, if that makes sense.
I would say right now, I don't have much to lose, quote unquote, because I'm still pretty young. I haven't obtained like a bunch of assets. I'm not married, of course, so I don't have anything that's tied in with another person. So for me,
but just for the record, let it be known, if it was to happen, it's a one and done. Like you get one shot, or you can go to hell.
Right. So for me personally, it's a deal breaker for me because the way I see it is, I feel like if you're cheating because you feel like you can't communicate with me, and if you can't communicate with me, why are we together? Plus, I'd much rather you break up with me than cheat on me.
I say that too. If you're ready to end it, just let me know. We can walk away amicably and keep it pushing.
Because if I have to walk away because I got cheated on, we can't be friends. We can't be cordial. I never want to see you again.
I know that I'm really friends with any of my exes anyway, so that's not a problem.
Right. One other thing about the situation, I don't like the whole rhetoric of like it's spiritual warfare and temptation and Satan and whatnot, because people at the church always like to be like, the devil is busy. Well, maybe the devil wouldn't be busy if you stopped giving him work. You ever think about that? You the reason the devil got to clock in every morning.
I'm done. Job security, son. It's called job security.
Meanwhile, the devil probably, and half these, the devil probably look at, now why am I in it? See how I get thrown in stuff? I have nothing to do with this one. That was all you.
So I'm just gonna answer my own question too.
Yes.
About cheating. My answer is cheating in my current relationship would not be a deal breaker because I'm sticking around and I'm making your life hell. Every chance I get, I'm making your tell her to come over here and help babysit and clean up this house so I can go spend some more of your money. I'm not leaving the comforts of my relationship for nobody.
Because guess what? I'm on them deals.
I'm sick right there. He go no.
Yep, that's my name.
He go no too. I be like, he gonna still pay all my bills. I'm gonna be right here, so y'all can't have a smidgen of happiness. Not a smidge. Good luck.
The new boo gonna be sitting there looking like, for lack of better, I mean, it ain't no tea. The new boo gonna be sitting there when it's time for that flag to be folded and handed off. It's gonna come to me, just like it went to Granny before it went to Grandpa, little old side piece. She was mad, okay, and you ain't gotta edit that for the Zoom.
Right? I'm gonna be like, excuse me, pardon me.
Excuse
Those are
me.
my
I mean,
benefits.
but hey, I mean, they was divorced. I'll put that out there. They was divorced, but because my granny name was still right there, baby, you ain't getting none of that.
No, we're not divorcing, sir. And I'm gonna cheat back. Just know that. Just know that it's a tit for tat, and it might be a tit for tat, tat, tat. Who knows?
But I do think
I'm
about
not
also,
leaving.
this situation in a way makes me think about the reaction to the whole Will and Jada situation that happened some months ago with the whole like the entanglement and table talk situation, where I'm like, I can understand how they have too many things that are like just tied together, and for them it really don't make sense for either of them to walk away. And in those moments, I can at least understand. You know, I'm not the type of person where your life is your life. That's your business. I'm not really going to talk about if I were in your position, what I would or wouldn't do, because I'm not in your position. So I feel like if it works for you, that's fine. And I feel like you have your own reasons. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself in the process.
But my thing is, if you go stay in it, make sure you are finding some ways to make yourself happy. I don't believe in making yourself miserable. You can make the other person miserable. That's fine by me. Make his life hell. Give him the good old hell. But I want her to be like living her best life. She just looked. I'm going back to the video. She just looked miserable. And she can sit on here and kiki and act like she's fine and the devil and everybody busy, but you need to get busy and find your joy somewhere, ma'am, because you look a whole hot mess. And that's not talking about you looking a mess like you should be dressed up for us, but I just feel like hot mess within your aura and your spirit looks a mess.
Yeah.
No, so we thank you for watching this video. You ain't got to do nothing, but I mean, the like button's right there. The subscribe button is right there. It's free. It don't cost nothing. You ain't doing anything else. So you know what? We were the Negroes. You know what? Let me take off my helmet of salvation because I'm getting real unsanctified right now because y'all not pushing this button. Listen, we were the Negroes at. It's fun. We have fun. We cut up. So if you want to be where the Negroes are too, you better make that like button turn blue. And we will see you when we see you. Okay, thank y'all. Bye-bye.